Dr. Glenn,
Yes, sir.
we are coming in hot with this topic.
Ooh, too hot for TV.
You ready for this?
Let's do it, man.
Are cheaters, or does cheating make you a bad person?
It depends.
It depends.
There's a lot of variables and factors. It's not so black or white.
There are, and yet this is a pretty common question and topic that we receive. So
welcome to KevJai Podcast. So, are cheaters really bad? And I think we all agree, and I think Jai will agree, cheating.
You don't know that.
Okay, fine. You are cheating on your wife then. 'Cause that's where I was going with that.
But anyways, go ahead. Yeah. This guy, man.
That's what happens when you finish people's sentences without knowing what they're going through.
Fair enough.
So I think we all agree cheating in a relationship is wrong. But what about cheating the system? What about cheating in terms of finances? And what I mean by that is like, the bank declines you and then you fudge on your income the next time around when you apply. And then you got to prove, your income is not that elevated. So what is this? Is that bad? Is that good? So cheating relationship-wise bad, but cheating in terms of financially navigating the system, ?
I guess there's two parts to this. There's the cheating part, and then does that really make you a bad person? Right? Cheating's cheating, whether you are a bad or good person. When you cheat, that means you're trying to avoid the correct way to do things. Does that necessarily make you a bad person? That's a different conversation. So the same example you gave about the loan thing, where you didn't get the loan, but you tried to fudge a number so the next time around the bank can give you a loan, that's still cheating. It doesn't mean you're a bad person because you want to provide for your family.
All right. So what if in the process of me trying to cheat, I actually remember the stuff that I'm learning? And so I'm trying to cheat. I'm writing on my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the exam, I actually don't actually look at my hand.
But
I get caught.
Yeah.
And someone sees it on my hand.
Yeah.
But I never actually looked at my hand during the
they're
exam.
not going to look at your conscience. They're going to look at the intent. Okay.
Right? I'm in the exam. And then I actually, wait a minute, I remember writing this crap down. And I didn't actually look at my hand.
Okay.
And so I did the exam without looking at my hand.
Fair
and
enough.
then I go to hand in my paper. And the teacher's like, what is that on your hand? So you're looking at it from a philosophical, deep rooted.
I wouldn't call it deep rooted.
Because I had the intention,
Yes.
mens rea, actus rea,
Whatever,
for the
man.
lawyers. So
You
guilty
cheated.
mind, guilty act.
You cheated.
But
Plain
I
and
didn't
simple.
have the guilty act. I didn't
But
actually.
how can you prove that? So the burden of
Or
proof
then
is
one
not,
can say I didn't have the guilty mind because I didn't look
but
at my
that,
palm.
then you have to
Anyways.
prove that. And the burden of proof is on you. And I don't know, even if you were to take that to I'm not a lawyer, but if you were to take that to court, how can you prove that? Because the exam's done, unless there's cameras there that would show that, okay, I didn't look at my palms and just wrote it, but you can't prove that. So they have to look at the intent. If you didn't use it, then why'd you write it?
So you basically, if you were the teacher,
Mm-hmm.
you would just label me as a cheater. You wouldn't look at any context other than just, hey, it's on your hand.
Yeah.
The propensity and the potential is there. That's it. That's enough.
So then I start to question, because you're a straight A student. So I'll be like, when did you write this? Now, again, knowing that you've been caught cheating, even though you didn't use it, are you going to lie or tell the truth? Because telling the truth will get you in more trouble. We're just
Fundamentally,
expanding it.
we're just priming this to cheating the system in terms of financial, our system, our economic system. Because one of the things that I remember I did as a cheater, I tried to buy multiple homes and I was denied. And then so what I had to do was, I didn't do everything completely. I didn't do anything illegal, but the point is I gamed the system.
Okay.
I worked for myself. I inflated my salary a little bit and I rented on my property, which is a bit of a, not let's say a loophole, but if that property can earn, make money on its own, the banks will look at it as, okay, that's income that you're generating on top of your other types of income, your job or whatever. And so what I'm saying is, one can say because the bank initially denied me, I did it the so-called right way, and then I found the loopholes, and then I did it that way. Some might say that's cheating. And so my whole thing is, if it's cheating, but if the system is fundamentally flawed, then how is it really cheating? Because I'm just following the system as is.
I can't remember the case details, but with Donald Trump, that's a good example. He was found guilty of, I think he was overinflating numbers or something like that.
Okay.
Even though the bank came out and said, he didn't cheat, he paid us back. But the courts found him guilty.
But guilty of the same thing or guilty of something else?
No, guilty, I think, based on what he was charged for.
Because,
I said, I can't remember the case details, but what
Yeah.
I just gave as an example to say, even though you might view yourself as not being a cheater, it depends on the lens of who you're looking at it from. That's why I gave that example of the teacher. So with Donald Trump's case, he didn't look at it as cheating, neither did the banks, because they got paid. But the courts said he cheated,
okay.
right? And they found him guilty.
Okay, so I own a company,
Okay.
and they want me to pay taxes in installments, but I don't pay taxes in installments, and I leverage that because the money stays in my account, and I leverage that. So you're saying by your token, by my not following what, say, company B does, they're doing installments, sending their money on time and appropriately. I'm hoarding my money. I'm keeping their money. It's for example, GST.
Yeah.
Instead of the installments, you're saying that I'm cheating because I have a leg up. Is that what you're saying, or am I
No. Because
misunderstanding?
that's a different example. But in that scenario, I wouldn't say that's an example that you can contest as cheating.
But I am benefiting though. I can take that. I can keep that money, and I can
you're
earn a
allowed
little
to do
interest
that.
on.
But
Okay.
you're allowed to do that. They can't.
But the government wants me to do installments though.
Not necessarily.
But they do. And so what I'm saying, hear me out, Jai. What I'm saying though, is the government will tell company B, you got to do installments. Company B is good on the up and up. They listen to the law. They listen to the CRA.
Okay.
So they do it.
Okay.
I get the same letter, company A, I'm company A, and then I choose not to do that. How is that not cheating?
Okay, so
Because
you're looking at it from this is contextual. It's not the actual live thing. So because I'm looking at it from a real life scenario where
and I'm
those are
just
recommendations.
pretending, by the way.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
come. I don't want no smoke. Just like that. I don't want no smoke. Yeah.
So you're saying this because with your installments, it's a recommendation. It's not mandatory that you pay. But okay, if that was a
I think
scenario,
it's more than a recommendation. But go on. I get what you're saying.
we can get into it later. But in that situation, are you still going to pay the money?
Of course. Yes.
Yeah. So you're still going to pay the money.
Yeah.
That's fine. But in the eyes of the CRA, you're cheating. Now, whether they choose to come after you is a different ballgame because they have bigger fish to fry. But when it comes down to nitty gritty, like you're supposed to do A, B, C. You didn't do A, you didn't do B, but you did C. Well, you still cheated, even though you did C. That's the way I see it.
I think the system is fundamentally flawed. I think this is where a lot of people that don't necessarily have a lot of resources, they look at it from your perspective, cheating, because they don't understand how things, and I'm not trying to say you don't got a lot of money. I'm just saying, as an example.
Guys throwing shades, man.
I'm not
It's all
throwing
good.
shade,
Hey,
just
man. Hey,
context,
It's all good,
context.
man. I'll stay humble.
I'm just saying.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I realize that so for example, when I first started my company, I was doing my own business or my own numbers, my own accounting, and I just realized all of a sudden it's too much. I can't handle it. I had to hire an accountant. I have multiple accountants now. And so what I'm trying to get at is as you grow or learn the system more and more and get more enthralled in the system, you realize there's loopholes for a reason.
Yes.
And so one of those things is there's certain money. If you have a certain amount of money, you can put it here and then you get 5% as long as you don't touch it. And there's all these little types of games, quote unquote, and they're all legal. I think the challenge is that to a certain person or a certain group, it looks like cheating. And so like we look at Donald Trump. I looked into it. I'm like, how does this make sense? This is not insider trading. It's got to be insider trading. You know what he's gonna tweet before he tweets it, and then he causes the oil.
Oh, you mean that's yeah. That
you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes,
like
I get what you're
I
saying,
would
yeah.
think that's cheating because anyone in his circle
Yeah.
can really
And leverage. Yeah.
leverage that.
Yep.
But it's not cheating. It is not. It's not insider trading because he's not on the board. He's not a CEO. He doesn't actually dictate policy in the organization.
But what he says,
could
yeah, anyone
see
can see.
he's making money. Like,
I know.
come on.
I know.
So my
I
whole
understand.
thing is,
Yeah.
everybody, is it really cheating?
So you're saying everybody should cheat?
I'm just saying, if we stay on the sidelines
Yeah.
and be the good boy or good girl or good corporation or good people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying there's a whole world of people just passing us by. And I'm not saying it's all about the bread. I get it. No way, it's not. It's more about purpose, you providing for your family.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, generational wealth is important. And how do you get that generational wealth? How do you grow? How do you get out of this? It's like sinking. I feel our community, we're sinking, where once the patriarch or the matriarch dies, it just is all over again. We start from scratch again. And so my whole thing is, what do we do to get ourselves a leg up? And I'm just saying,
Cheat. That's exactly what you're saying.
all right, everybody, this is KevJai. You let us
Oh,
know,
man.
am I a cheater or am I not a cheater? All right, guys, it's been a great one.
Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.